Hey guys, what's going on? It's Anthony, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some tips, advice for new drone flyers. There are so many people buying drones. There's a lot of things that people don't know, and they just pick up a drone and they fly it and then they crash it, or they don't fly it because they're scared they're gonna crash it, or like they just don't know what they're doing. So a little background about me. I am an FAA licensed Part 107 pilot. I live in the state of Arizona and in the city of Phoenix, and I fly drones for a living. I also have been flying drones since 2015, so it's been 5 years for me. I think I know a good amount of stuff, but I just wanted to give you guys some tips for you new drone flyers. Let's start with the people that want to fly drones, but they haven't bought a drone. So what should you do? What type of drone should you buy? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have only ever flown DJI drones. So I am biased. If you're gonna buy a drone, I recommend you buy a DJI drone. 80% of the consumer drone market is DJI drones. So most of the videos you watch on YouTube, most of the drone footage that you're gonna see from people, especially on YouTube, is probably from a DJI drone. And DJI sells drones all the way from the consumer level to the professional level. So you definitely will want to start with a consumer drone. They have some very popular drones. They have the Mavic series drones, which there are quite a few of them now, and they have the Phantom series drones. So Phantom series drones are older. If you're new to drones in 2020 or beyond, I recommend you stay away from the Phantom because it's old technology. Most of the tutorials you're gonna watch on YouTube are gonna be done with a Mavic series drone. So that's the perfect place to start, and they're pretty affordable. The Mavic Mini is a $400 drone. It's really kind of like a toy, if you ask me. If you're trying to do professional like photography or videography with any of these drones, I would not get a Mavic Mini. But if you're looking to just have fun flying your drone, or you're buying your drone for a kid, the Mavic Mini is the great place to start. It's a lightweight drone and it's very easy to fly. The next drone that you could do is the DJI Mavic Air 2, which is DJI's newest drone. It is awesome. It is a great first drone, and it's only like $800. So for most people, that's pretty affordable. It's, you know, a lot of these high-end cameras or, you know, other drones are at least $1,000. So the fact that you can get into the drone game with a very good price drone, an $800 drone, is pretty nice, and it shoots great quality. It shoots 48 megapixel photos, and it shoots 4K at 60 frames per second video. So you can't go wrong with that. The other Mavic series drone you could get is the Mavic 2. So the Mavic 2 is offered in two versions. They have a Pro version and they have a Zoom version. I do fly the Mavic 2 Pro. I think it's the superior one. It has a 1-inch sensor and it's a Hasselblad. So if you don't know anything about cameras, that's a really good camera. And it shoots 4K at 30 frames per second video. The photos from the Hasselblad camera are absolutely amazing. The Mavic 2 Pro is my go-to drone. I use it for everything. Whether it's professional or recreational, that is my go-to drone every single time. The Zoom I have no experience with, so I can't really speak on it, but from what I see and hear, it's a great drone, but that's all I'm gonna say on it because I've never used it myself. All in all, you wanna start with a Mavic series drone. So now you have the drone, you bought it, whatever drone it is, a Mavic, a Phantom, whatever, and you're scared to take off and you don't want to crash it because I know you just spent all this money. But the only way that you're going to learn how to get really good with the controls is by flying it. My advice to you is to take it to a nice open space where you know that you're not going to crash it. Fly it there and get used to the controls, and fly above the treetops so that you really can't crash into anything. These new DJI drones all have GPS in them, so it's very, very hard to crash. If you let go of the controller, the drone is just gonna hover in the same spot. It's not gonna fly away. It's not gonna drift away unless there's really high wind. These drones are very high tech. They can handle the wind, they can handle all that. So you really have nothing to worry about. The only way you're gonna learn is by flying it. Knowing where to fly is a big deal. So many new drone pilots don't know where to fly, and because of that it turns them off, or they just break rules and they don't know that they're breaking rules. It's very easy to get in trouble with drones nowadays. Even, you know, at my jobs, I shoot a lot of real estate, and I'll get neighbors of the houses I'm shooting, and they'll be very angry. They don't know why the drone is there, and you have to know what you're doing in order to explain that you're not breaking any rules. And you also have to know what you're doing because you want to make sure you're flying safely. So there are 2 apps that you need to download. Well, not really, you don't need to download both, but download one of them. So the first app is called AirMap. It's the one that I prefer to use. It is basically a federal database so that you can see where you can and can't fly. You can request something called link authorization, and that'll allow you to fly in certain areas that would otherwise be restricted. Basically, link authorization sends a message to the FAA or the air traffic controller to let them know that you're going to be flying in that space. It's usually an automated process, so if you apply for it, you'll usually hear back right away. There's usually not a delay from what I have found, and you'll have a code that is dedicated to that flight. They'll basically know that you're in the area. It's safer for pilots, it's safer for, you know, everybody that's up in the sky, even you. And the other app I want to recommend, but it works very similar to AirMap, it's called Kittyhawk. Definitely download one of those 2. I have lots of tutorials here on the channel about AirMap. I will leave links to those in the description below. You have to realize if you're buying a drone because you think you're going to start a big successful drone company, everybody and their grandma has tried to start a successful drone company. It's not something you don't just buy the drone and then start it. It takes a lot of time and practice to learn those controls, especially if you're doing video. I mean, photos are easier because you fly to where you want to go, pause, you know, as in stop flying, take the picture, move on to the next spot. I mean, that's pretty easy, and if you are good at editing, anybody can really take photos with a drone. But when it comes to video, not everybody can just pick up a drone and just start shooting very cinematic video. A lot of beginners' video is very choppy. You know, there's a lot of jerky movements because they don't really know the controls. So video is a whole different animal, and if you're trying to get into video, you definitely need to take all that into consideration, that it's going to take practice, it's going to take time. You're going to have to really learn what you're doing. Like I said, the only way to do that is by taking that drone outside, turning it on, and launching it into the sky, learning the controls and practicing and practicing and practicing. Really, anybody could do this. Drones are so easy to fly. They're so much fun, and if you've been on the fence about flying, I definitely recommend picking up a Mavic Series DJI drone and learning how to fly and doing it right. So make sure you're not one of those people that are, you know, flying in restricted airspace. Like where I live here in Phoenix, I'm within an airport. And when you live by an airport, you just have to be really, really careful that you're not just launching into the sky if there's a flight ceiling. So a lot of times with AirMap, you'll see you might have a 200-foot flight ceiling, a 300-foot flight ceiling. I've even seen 100-feet flight ceiling. You need to make sure that you're abiding by that and not breaking those rules, because if people keep breaking those rules, they're just going to crack down. That's going to suck if we all can't fly, especially for me because I use the drone for work. Yeah, welcome to drones if you're new. If you are new to drones and you want to see more drone related content, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you're updated when I create new videos, and also give this video a thumbs up so that it helps rank in the algorithm. Anyway guys, that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.